Hi, Crystal Balls. Before we get started today, I want to do a couple things. First, trigger warning. We are going to be talking about the Summer Wells case, and the whole thing is disturbing. Guys, like every trigger warning that you can possibly think of, throw it in here. Trigger warning. Okay, guys, I want you to take that very, very seriously. So, thank you for listening to that. From here on out, I have a couple of commentary things to say. So if you want to go ahead and skip to the video, I understand. I will put the timestamp in the description box. Okay. Second thing I'm going to go over. I love you guys. I appreciate all of your suggestions, especially those on Patreon. The ones on Patreon, definitely we talk the most. We have polls, we have discussions, and I do have a huge list of crimes and readings and things that people want me to do, as well as you guys leaving them in the comments. And I thank you for that. It means a lot. I am trying my best to get to them. And part of the reason why I'm not getting to them fast enough is I have been hella sick with my lupus and I haven't been able to function. So I haven't been on here as much as I want to be. I'm trying my best, and you'll hear more about that in my Friday video, but I appreciate you all for having patience with me. As far as reading some of these cases, they don't always click with me right away. I can't force them. So if they don't click with me right away, I will circle back to it at another time. So if you're not seeing your video, guys, don't worry, it will come. It will. I just have to go with the flow of the things. I love your suggestions. Please continue to put your suggestions to the comment box. And if you want to go on to Patreon, it's as little as $1 a month. You definitely get more perks there, and we can talk more. Sorry, Bowie knocked the camera. And Patreon comes first. Your requests and stuff on Patreon definitely come first. So the other thing I want to go over is I want to remind everybody that YouTube does in fact filter out comments. And I've again been accused of filtering or not posting comments or deleting comments. I don't do that unless they are a certain nature, such as threatening. You guys, most of you have very common sense. You would understand why someone would delete a comment, especially if it was harmful, something pretty bad. I've only done that a few times, but I also want to tell you that every time that you comment on my channel, whether you like the video or not, it helps me. So most likely, I'm not deleting your stuff unless it's a threatening nature, okay? Every single YouTuber on YouTube is under the community guidelines of YouTube, the entity. We use their platform. We have to listen to what they say. The platform itself is set up with certain words that will trigger it, and they will delete the comment. Now, I know many of you have seen, I have copied and pasted what I could into whatever video to let you guys know that this particular comment has been deleted. Usually I can tell you why. It's because you've either used a particular phrase, a particular word, or you have used a certain company. They delete for those things. I cannot help it. I will never be able to retrieve your entire comment. If you rewrite your comment with different wording, it will be there. But I will never be able to retrieve your original comment. But I do copy and paste and try to get what you put out there. That's all I can see, okay? I also am going to point out one more thing. I am a YouTuber who follows the community guidelines and standards. So if you attempt to get my channel shut down because you do not like my opinion, that just simply won't work. So I want to implore you that if you are one of the people who are trying to get my channel shut down, to realize that I have not done anything to violate any of the standards or guidelines on YouTube. If you don't like my opinion, that's fine. You can tell me that all you want. But trying to shut down my channel will not work. I advise you to, you can continue leaving comments because it helps me. Or you can, get your own channel. Do something. If you don't like it, do something about it, okay? I'm not your mom. I'm not going to hold your hand through this. And I know this is going to offend some people, and I'm sorry in advance, but I'm not a Christian. So when I get Christian rhetoric into my comments as a basis of an argument, that's not going to work for me, guys. I welcome your arguments. I welcome your religious views. That's absolutely fine. But when your basis of your argument has to do with Bible scripture or God or beliefs in God and things like that, I respectfully say I would rather talk to you with a valid argument, leaving out religion. Because in my life, I am not a believer in those sorts of things. I 100%, I agree with your right to have your religion. I agree with my right to have my religion. It's not the same. I'm definitely in the minority in the United States. But I would rather have an actual discussion with you than have your entire basis of comments be Bible verses and things like that. You aren't going to connect or have any sort of argument with me. I don't want to argue with anybody. Again, if you don't like my page here, that's fine. You can continue to comment because you're helping me. If you comment stuff about religion, I'm going to try to be as respectful as possible because we all have the right to that. However, it's not an argument. It's just bringing some things out of a random book that, I'm sorry. I know this offends people, but I'd rather have a discussion with things that are fact-based than not. But that's, again, my opinion. And if you guys are mad about that, you can tell me too. That's fine. But I have wonderful people here on this page. I love you guys. I am really trying hard to get to that 1,000 mark here so we can really make things starting to happen. And the people that I'm talking about, they're not subscribers to my channel. They're people that just pop on and they say some terrible things and then they leave, or they try to make there have been some people who have been trying to make this very difficult for me. Like I said, go make your own channel. Take this time and your energy and go make your own channel. And while you're helping my channel, you're also wasting your time. Go do something productive with this energy instead of just getting mad at me. Okay. I know this is a weird rant, but we're going to start on the Summer Wells case here, and I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Thank you to all of my members. Thank you to my Patreons. Guys, this is a great channel. I want to keep this upbeat. I don't like talking about these things, but they have been brought up over and over and over again that I have to address them now. Otherwise, sorry, I know the camera's bouncing, but Bowie's walking around. Otherwise, it's gonna keep being an issue. So, hopefully that's it. And I love you guys. I love everybody who has joined. I appreciate you all. And let's get into the video. Hi crystal balls, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please think about sticking around, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Please don't do that just for myself. Do that for other small YouTubers, your friends, your family, your small businesses, all of those people out there that are hustling. Taking a few moments out of your time to like, comment, share, and subscribe is free and a great way to help out all of us. Support us all by doing that. Go ahead right now. It takes a few moments. Click likey, click subscribe. Give me a little comment. Say hi. Tell me how you like my Simpsons shirt. Tell me about Rosie barking in the background. And I apologize if the camera keeps moving, but the cat Bowie over here is like... So I'm trying with him, but he's having a day, guys. So thank you again for being part of this journey with me, guys. I am growing every day and I highly appreciate it. And I want to get to 1,000 and you guys are really helping me on the way. So today we are going to talk about the Summer Wells case. Again, I know this is maybe my third or fourth video about it, but it is the most highly requested video on my channel that I get from people messaging me. I have a couple people who are not members of my own Patreon, but publicly will talk to me on Patreon. Definitely think about becoming a member because there are some really good perks there. And it starts off as little as $1 a month. Description will have that information there. So I got this new deck. I've been waiting to get this for a while. It's a Dark Mirror Oracle. I will be doing a video, I've already pre-recorded it, on Friday that will have a reading with this particular deck. Now, if you guys don't know what the Dark Mirror deck is about, it's very dark. This will show the shadow self, the underself, the things that are dark and deep about yourself or another person. This holds no punches, and it is definitely something that will wake you up. So we're going to use this particular deck on this reading today. Now, I don't believe that Summer Wells is alive. I want to let you know that my educational background, I'm getting a master's in this area. I probably will be using some of this as my thesis in a couple of years to talk about the most unusual case I've ever seen, which is the Summer Wells case, and the impact of social media, and social media being used by the parents. This is very unique, but it's also very telling of the times. And we definitely want to know what happened to that child. Now, I also want to take a moment to encourage my viewers, if you have other missing cases that you want me to take a look at, specifically cases of, you know, people of color, LGBTQ plus, adults, things like that, that are not the typical young white female, because that's actually a syndrome that is being covered by the media. There isn't an official name for it yet, but this is something a lot of people have been studying about, how young white females, especially young white blonde females, are the source of media attention. And that's something that I'm going to be studying as well. So please send me your suggestions because I really want to know. I really want to read them. I want to give some of these other cases attention as well because they deserve them. All right, so I'm going to ask really fast, is Summer Wells past? Is she past on another plane of existence? So, Parasite. So the first image I get here, Parasite is something obviously that is eating off of you, something in you, something eating away. But the first vision that I got in my head was a shallow grave. And not to freak anybody out, but shallow graves mean animals, bugs, things like that can get to you. And I believe that there are parasites in her body right now. I do believe she's in a shallow grave somewhere. Probably on property. I don't think that she has gone off of that 11 acres, but she's in a shallow grave somewhere around there. Downcast Pride. So this honestly reminds me of Candace, the mother. And she has been in a situation where she looks to her husband for everything. There's a great amount of fear in her. It seems to me that she has become subservient, but this hasn't always been her personality. This is something that has happened in the last few years. Honestly, it feels like she's had some sort of depression for a while. However, she is downcasting her pride in order to appease somebody else. Somebody else that she feels is more powerful than her and will harm her, possibly harm her children. So I want you guys to keep that in mind, that Candace has had to become humble in a way, but also she's very fearful. Did her parents have anything to do with this? Black flower fragrance. So, this still tells me about burial. I am familiar with black flowers and fragrances and things like that. I actually used to work in this industry, so I understand the uniqueness of these types of flowers, but also the detriment because they could be poisoned. I don't think that Summer Wells was poisoned at all. I don't think that was the case at all, but I do think this is still indicative of funeral flowers. And I still look at this situation as almost an 1800s type thing that's telling me that she's buried at home. Like, this is something that is very... Okay, so I don't know if y'all know this, but in most states, if you bury a body within 24 hours after they die, it is not illegal. Now, normally that is somebody that is, very poor, very, they don't have the means to do this, and it's usually the person who's being buried is somebody who was quite elderly. Not always the case. Yep, I had family members buried because of that situation, and it is something that you can use. And I keep seeing back to the 1800s, like when mom and pa are standing around burying their little one because she didn't make it. I feel like the parents buried her. I almost see like Ma and Pa standing around, Pa with the shovel like this, holding on the shovel, and the kids around. It feels like this child was buried very, very quickly. I'm really sorry about Rose, guys. Her mommy is gone, so Auntie is taking care of her, and she is not happy. Forgetting oneself. That's one thing that Don Wells has not been able to do. He has not been able to keep his trap shut. Everything that he says is harmful, and he cannot and will not abandon ship of his own narrative that keeps making things worse. This guy is literally digging himself a hole like that grave. I feel like he thinks he is smarter than everybody else, and he is gonna get away with this. Now, I have never said that Candace and Dawn have killed their child on purpose. I think they were involved somehow. Whether that means that there was an accident, whether that means that, just something terrible happened, I think they are involved. I think they know exactly what happened to their child, and I think she's buried on their property in a shallow grave. Candace definitely knows a lot more than what she says, but so does Dawn. But Dawn is so self-centered that he can't keep his trap shut. And guys, this is bad. This guy feels like he is singing the gospel to everybody, but all he's doing is making himself look foolish. All of this is about me. Me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. Don doesn't want to see the person who was responsible for his daughter going missing to go to jail, to go to prison. And that is literally the worst thing that I've ever heard in my life. Trust me. If that was my kid and I found a person responsible for harming them, you would have to lock me up to keep them safe. And yeah, I don't care. They can rot. They can have prison. They can have the electric chair. They can have all of it. Because that's my kid. No. They deserve more than prison. Just saying, guys, that is horrific. Is it me? Who is this woman? This is an inner woman. This isn't an outer woman. This is somebody who is blaming themselves right now. This is somebody outside of the family that is close with the family who is blaming themselves because they saw a lot of warning signs and did nothing about it. I have a pretty good idea who this woman is, but I'm not going to say it. I'm going to let you guys kind of draw your own conclusions. But she's a younger female who is in the outer circle of this family, but has been present. And she definitely would have seen a lot of warning signs. So she is taking some of this blame onto herself, which, there were lessons here that you definitely need to learn because you blatantly ignored things and you should have known better. You should have known better. Especially with what you do, you should have known better. Pension to dream. Summer is haunting their dreams. Now, the thing is, this isn't Summer who's actually haunting their dreams. This is a version of Summer that is out there in the collective that is haunting their dreams. Summer, I will check here in a moment, but she's definitely passed on. I want to see how she's doing, but she has crossed over. But she herself is not haunting people's dreams. This is a collective that is doing this. She's haunting the dreams of her parents. She's haunting the dreams of this woman. She's haunting the dreams of the oldest brother, grandma, and that's really all I can tell. But each person is getting a personal dream from her, meaning they're not comparable. One person may be dreaming about Summer in the water. One person may be dreaming about Summer in church. One person may be dreaming about Summer as a baby. But it's constant. It will be constant. And it's language, it's speaking, it's a way for her to be able to communicate with people at large, even though it's not necessarily her. I know that's hard to understand. This is a small piece of her. Small piece of her that is active. And some of these people are calling these dreams upon themselves because they feel like they need to, not because they miss her. They feel like they need it. I don't really feel a lot of I miss you. It's a lot about, what about me? This is a very, very selfish situation that's happening. Did Summer cross over safely? And where is she? Gilded regret. So she has crossed over, sort of. She's what I call not fully integrated. I think she's half trapped here. And the problem is she feels guilty about what happened. She feels guilty. Little Summer Wells, she's only 5 years old, guys, and she feels guilty about what happened. And she blames herself. She can cross over. She can go to the good side. She can go to the good place. But she doesn't want to because she wants to make sure that things will be okay. She says it's her fault. It's not. It's not her fault. It is not her fault. What happened was not her fault. And I want to... Did you wander off? Queen of my world. She was in her own little world when whatever happened. Obviously she's a 5-year-old child. She had a lot of make-believe and a lot of creativity. It's like she was fully present, but in a dream state. I feel like she was playing pretend, or she was in some sort of, I don't know, it was playing. It wasn't anything bad. It wasn't anything negative, but she definitely was in her own world. But look at the outside. This is the woods, guys. So, did she wander off on her own? It's very possible. I've always said that the most likely simple explanation is probably what happened, which means she probably wandered away and had an accident, or she had an accident in the house and it was covered up by her parents. I think that's the most logical, simple explanation. And usually that's what happened. But keep in mind that nobody has been released as a suspect yet. But they're also not telling the community at large to be careful because there's a kidnapper in town. Revenge. This is not summer. This is an energy that has come up that represents the mother. Now, I'm not saying this represents Candace. I'm not saying this represents Grandma Candace. This represents the mother in all of us. Even if we are not mothers ourselves, no matter who you are, without children, it doesn't matter. There is this spirit of the mother in all of us. And this is coming for revenge. Because this is what the collective has been pushed to. Especially empaths and people who are psychic and pick up on this stuff. You know what I'm talking about. This is the mother. And the mother is coming for her baby. This is something that is so deep and ingrained into us and into the universe that it is going to become a physical manifestation. Somebody's going to get revenge. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be on this plane of existence. Whew. Artificial heart. That's why I keep thinking that I don't feel any sort of fear, remorse, guilt, fear, anger, pain. It feels the emotions that come from Candace and Dawn are very forced or very, very misplaced. I think that's part of why Don speaks so much, is because he has absolutely no feeling. He says a lot without ever saying anything about his child. It's, again, all me-based. It's all me-centric. But everything about this is artificial. And all of the feelings that are around are artificial as well. You can tell, guys, you can tell by simply listening to these people that there is no fire or passion of wanting to get their child back and getting angry at people who are trying to help them out, calling them names, calling them the devil, doing all this weird crap. Guess what? We see you, Dawn. We see you. Everything about you is artificial. And I'm sorry whatever happened to your daughter happened, but you need to man up and you need to face it. And then you need to start telling the truth. I don't know if Candace is capable of this anymore because she's under your thumb. But you need to open up your damn mouth. But don't keep saying the crap that you have. You are trying to deflect. You are saying the worst things in the world and admitting to some of the most horrendous crimes in the world to distract us all from what happened to Summer. It's not about you, dude. It's not. It's about your kid. Open up your mouth and speak the truth. I hope every time that you look in the mirror that you see the person that you are reflected back to you, which is why I like this deck so much. This is a shadow deck. You are not a good person. And I feel with every fiber of my being that both of the parents know exactly what happened. I'm going to leave that here for now. I know this is a relatively short read, but I feel like what we are seeing, we need to look at the dark in order to see the light. And I feel very bad that I feel like Summer has not completely crossed over, that she's still hanging around for a reason. And it's for her, it's not revenge. For her, it's for something else. But there is revenge out there. Revenge is going to come to them. Trust me. Again, simplest explanation is probably what happened. Accident, wandered off, or something much more sinister with the family. But I guarantee you that family knows a lot more than what they're saying. It's an addiction. They're addicted to this. They're addicted to the fame part of it. I kid you not. They are addicted to this. They're addicted to the attention. There's a lot of addictions in this family anyway. And yes, that's a whole other kettle of fish. Yes, these guys are very addicted to other things and substances and alcohol, but they are addicted to the attention. And that's sick. They are using this situation for attention. They like it. They like the drama. That's sick. All right, guys. If you know anything, please contact the correct people. Do not waste their time on some weird tip that you don't know anything about. They have to explore every single outlet here. So if you leave a tip and it's not right, or it's based off of something on Facebook or YouTube, don't. If you have firsthand knowledge, do something. Help this little girl out. She's gone, guys. She's gone. But help out this girl the way that you can now, which is by trying to put pressure on the right places so people will open their mouths. This is going to be one of the weirdest cases, and I have a feeling it's going to drag along for a very long time. But keep in mind right now that everybody is still a suspect. The children are not living with the family because it's deemed unsafe, and they won't stop talking. Dawn won't stop talking. Candace is beaten down. But Dawn, all he's doing is spitting rhetoric to distract people from what really is the problem. What happened to Summer Wells? All right, everybody, I hope you have a good day or night wherever you are in this world. Remember that every single day is a gift. Use your time wisely, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.